Hello everybody, welcome back to the second part of the two-part series Webpack 5 with SASS. My name is Uli and today we will set up the production configuration. Let's start by adding some new packages with npm. I open the terminal with Alt F12, clear the screen, and then I type npm i-d and then the @ sign Babel / encore, and then again @ sign Babel / preset -env, then the Babel loader, and the mini CSS extract plugin. Mini CSS extract plugin. Hit enter to install. And if everything installed correctly, we're closing the terminal with Shift Escape. Let's jump to the package.json file with Alt and right key, and everything looking good for me. First thing we have to do after the source dir, we add another, what will be the build dir. And that's for me app/dist. And then we add another script, and this I call build. Webpack and _mode and production. Again, you could set up this as well in the webpack.config, but I think here it's cleaner. Okay, back to the webpack.config file, going all the way to the top with Control Home. And after the plugins, I have to install a new one, and here is the I required again tab, and this is the CSS or the mini CSS extract plugin. So, and same like last time, Control W twice and then copy to put it in a clipboard, enter, and then Control V to pasting it, and then selecting it with Shift Control actually selecting then words, and then Alt M for 7, finish. Then we have to add the build dir to the destructuring from the variables, adding it here. So, and now we add the Webpack production configuration. Good thing is to not getting distracted from all the other stuff we have here. We don't need the style config here today. Then I think we don't need this one too. We don't need the development configuration, and just add here Webpack production configuration, again in an if statement, and here the current task durable equals to build, enter. So, and here the same like before. First we need the outputs for the bundles. And we add it to the config output equals curly braces, and first thing the path module, and then we're resolving it first, and again the _dir name, what is my root directory, and then here the build dir. If you here accidentally using the source dir, then you will overwrite your source directory. But if you have done that, you can basically go into your source directory, right click, and then you have here a local history where you can get it back then from WebStorm. That's as well why I love WebStorm. Comma, and then the file name. And here again the backticks, the current directory, assets, and then JS / and the placeholder with $sign and curly braces, entry, and then dot, and now in square brackets chunk hash. I show you later what it is. Closing square brackets, and then .js. And now you know why I'm not adding .js to the entry in the package.json. So, and here again the asset module files. The same reason like before when you using images, for example, in your styles as a background. This one in quotes, as we're already in the right directory. Assets, image, then the name in square brackets and the extension in square brackets. Okay, that's for the output. Next thing, we want to extract the styles, and first thing we have to add to the loader. So we add a loader to extract the styles in CSS file. And here the style config dots in the use fields, and here we unshifted to add it at first, and then curly braces for options, and here the loader. And this time is the mini CSS extract plugin dot loader. And now adding the plugins, and we add to the config object plugins, and we push it to the end. And here we add the new mini CSS extract plugin. And here in curly braces, we add the file name. In quotes, current directory, assets, /CSS / styles, dot in square brackets, chunk hash, .css. So now let's run this configuration. We haven't set it up, but with Alt and right arrow, we go back to the package.json. And if we still here in the build configuration, we can just hit Shift Control and F10. And now you see on the top, we see the build configuration. And when everything working good, we have here this directory where we have our index file, what is minified, and assets, CSS, the styles. And here you can see the chunk hash. This will be changed every time you changing something in your styles or in your JavaScript, so that when the browser caching your styles or JavaScript, you're getting a new version. You can basically add it as well to the HTML file. And here's our JavaScript. And when we reformatting it with Control-Alt, what is actually not really recommended, as I get already here a hint. But this is basically what we have. We have here a function where is our class, just JavaScript, what not every browser would understand. And there is actually where Babel comes handy. So let's set it up. Closing this one. And I think I'm adding it after the outputs. Babel configuration. And here we adding to the config object module dot and only the rules first dot pushing it. And here now curly braces. And first thing we have to tell Webpack what we want to transform in the test field. And here again, regular expression with slash and then a backslash dot JS $/I for case insensitive and then a comma. So what is now different from the styles is we have an exclude here. And this we using because we don't want to run third-party packages what we have in the node modules, but we will using it, importing it in our app.js. So we add here now a slash and then braces, nodes, underscore, modules, closing, slash, and a comma. And the next one is we have to tell what to use. And this will be in an object with curly braces, then the loader. And here is a Babel loader. And now some options. and then a preset. What is an array? And here in quotes, @Babel / presets -env. So that should be it. So now let's run it again. As we're still here in the build, we can just click Shift and F10 and we have an error. So it says it cannot find the presets. Okay, I think I have here a spelling mistake, so let's try it again. Yeah, this one called preset and not presets. Okay, so let's check the files. We're all only interested in JavaScript, and when we're reformatting it, we're getting just way more out than before. And basically what a change here so that more browser can understand it. So let me close that one and then see what we're doing next. What we can see here is on the left side, when we see our files, what we built, we have now 2 styles and 2 JavaScript. And that's meaning every time we build something, we get a new file in JavaScript. And if we check the index, we will add actually all the time here styles, and we get a new one here. And the old one we don't need. That's one thing. Next thing is, if you're closing this one, we're missing our images. You see, here's an image and we don't have it here. So let's add that. And for this one, we need 2 new packages. With Alt F12, we open the terminal. And then npm i-d, we install the clean -webpack -plugin. And then the copy -webpack -plugin. Hit enter to install. Oh, we get an error now. Seems to be I have a spelling mistake here again. And then if I'm checking, okay, I'm missing the N from the plugin. And if I'm seeing my package.json, I did not add any packages. And that's actually what it is. All the time you installing packages in one go, so you have one spelling mistake or once package is not available, then nothing will be installed. So clicking here, enter, and now no error. With Shift Escape, we're closing that, and we see, okay, we have add the packages. So closing this one, back to the webpack.config, and with Control Home, we go all the way to the top and requiring those packages. And I think you know now the drill. Here first IQ, and then the clean Webpack plugin with Control W twice, copy, enter, Control V, and then selecting it, Alt M 47, then the end key all the way to the end, enter, REQ, tab. The next one is the copy, Control W twice, copy, and if you're getting used to it, you don't have to even look for it and just doing it automatically. So now we have to add it to the plugins. So with Control End, we go all the way to the ends, and here I would say the clean plugin we add here. So new clean Webpack plugin, add the comma, and then I see here an error, and that means I forgot something. So because the clean Webpack plugin is a name export, so I have to add curly braces. With Control Home, we go all the way to the top. Then here in the middle, Control W twice, and then Shift and curly braces, we add curly braces around it. If it's for you that Webpack deleting it, then you haven't add a setting. So with Control and Alt and S, we open the settings. And here in the editor, General, Smart Keys, surround selection on typing, quote or brace. And then you have to select this one, and then you get the same effect what I just got. And by the way, I'm many times playing around with the settings to see what will be the best for my workflow. Okay, cancel this one. So to go quickly back where we just added something, we hold Shift, Control and then backspace, and jumping back to the last entry. So the warning you see here now is a signature mismatch where the argument do not match the signature. And basically I don't care about it. And if you pay attention, you have this here on the top too. And when here I say inspect this one and say disabling it, then this one should removing as well. Okay, so now we add the copy plugin, copy Webpack plugin, and then curly braces as we need some options. And we're setting up here a patterns, what is in array. And here in curly braces, first is from. Here we need backticks as we have to go in another directory, in the current directory, and then placeholder with $ and curly braces, and the source dir, and after the curly braces slash assets slash and emg and slash, and then after this one a comma, and then 2. And now we need only quotes, current directory, assets slash emg slash. And when you want to copy other directories, then you just add here a comma and then another pair of curly braces, and then from and to. You can just copy files. Okay, let's run it again with Shift F10. And again an error here. Okay, so clean Webpack is not a constructor. Let's go here to the top. Okay, I think you know what we did, or what I did wrong. And removing this here, Shift F10. And now it works. So, we have now this. Yes, we're closing this one. I like to closing up stuff here what I don't need so that I can focus only what I want to see. Here we have our image. And that's why it's actually at this dummy image to see that it works. And then my CSS, I have only one. And my JavaScript, I have only one too. Nice. So now we have our build directory here, what we can upload to a web server, but I don't know if it really works or not. I think that it works because it works for my source files, but when not. So I like to add another server to check only my build directory. How we do it? First Alt F12. We add some new packages. Let me clean that one. And the package I like to use is BrowserSync. npm i-d and then BrowserSync. Installed correctly. Shift Escape, closing it, and then going back to the package.json. And now after the build, I add the build server, and I'm calling it as well build server. And first thing I have to asking for the BrowserSync as I want to run this one. And then in Windows we can add variables with %, and then npm underscore package underscore config underscore build dir. The same way spelled we did on the top here, and then another %, so that we can use this variable, and then a -w for watching, and then a $port, and here we're using again the variable with %, and then npm underscore package underscore config underscore port, again %, and then no open. What means basically BrowserSync opens all the time a new browser, and I don't want that. And the next thing is no UI, and that should be working now with Shift Control and F10. We can run this configuration, and now we got a new web server, this time running on 3001. Why is that? Because we still have the dev server running, what is occupied with 3000, and now it's jumping to the next number. And what we have to do here, just add the 1 here and go. And now we got here as well BrowserSync connected. What I like as well on BrowserSync is it syncs really all your browser are connected. So you can use your local network, and then you can use a smartphone or a tablet. And when you browse one of them, all the other one browsing as well. Next thing I like to test is third-party dependencies, if they work nicely with this workflow. So with Alt F12, we open the terminal and then clean the screen, and then npm, and only I this time, because I want to install it as a dependency, and I like to use one JavaScript. This is the lazy sizes. and then the normalize.css. Hit enter to install. Looking good. Shift escape to closing that. So now we have it installed as a dependencies, and the difference is when you adding it to a node server, then it have to know what is actually a dependency for your website and what is only for development. So now let's add those two packages. Let's add first for the styles, jumping to the main.scss, control home to the top, and here add a comment, npm package, and the add sign, and then import. And when I'm starting with the tilde sign and then start typing normalize, then I can just import it. Then I go to the app.js. I can close this with Control F4 and then Control Home all the way to the top. And after the styles, this time here I add the npm package, and here just import. Start typing native sizes, and let's build it again. So with Shift and Alt this time and F10, now I can choose which one I want to build again. I can even go to the playground here, add this build one. Still looks here the same. And if I'm checking out my styles, I have my normalize in version 8, and here you can actually get more information about this. So my own style, they are still minified, but not this one. So we will fix that later. And my JavaScript is a lot now and still is minified. So let's closing this one. So, and how do we fix it? By installing two new packages. So we add first a CSS Minimizer Webpack plugin, what uses CSS Nano, and then a Tersa Webpack plugin to minify the JavaScript. Open the terminal with Alt F12. Let me clean that, and now npm I, and then again -d for the dev dependencies, Tersa -webpack -plugin, and then CSS -minimizer -webpack -plugin. Hit enter to install. Looking good. Shift escape, closing that. So now let's add them to our webpack.config, jumping there. And oh, we're still on the top here. Then first we have to require them. This one, the first one is the Tersa. And if you're asking yourself why we need JavaScript, it looks good. You will see later. Control W twice, copy. 7 and the end key. And again require CSS Minimizer, Control W twice, copy. Okay, then with Control End all the way to the end. So now we're jumping quick up with Alt and the up arrow. And above the plugins, we add the code optimization. And here we're adding it again to the config object, and is as well called optimization. Equals to curly braces. And first thing we have to add the minimize fields. And this is true. And then the minimizer in an array. And first let's add the new CSS Minimizer Webpack plugin and run this with Shift F10. I always log before I hit Shift F10 if I'm still in the right configuration, here in the one configuration, and then I check out my styles. Oh, they are nicely minimized. If you want to get rid of this line, so that's up to you, but this is a sort of protected comment where you get the license from, so I think that's no harm leaving it in. And then I check out my JavaScript, and now I can see it's not minimized anymore. And basically, I don't know why it is. I have no idea how many times I built something. Sometimes it comes and sometimes not, but most of the times it is not minimized. So back to the Webpack configuration, and above the CSS minimizer, let's add the Tersa, and then add the comma, and then Shift F10, trying it out again. Looking good here. So with Shift F10, we rerun it again. Looking good. So now our styles. And then now we have everything minimized. So let's close that. And I think it's time for another commit. With Ctrl K, we open the commit dialog. And what I want to change here is for the production. And then Alt-I, we commit that. So where to go from here? Just happy developing, I would say. Just creating some one-siding web app. I would not recommend go here with a couple of sites. I would do everything in one HTML page and then using JavaScript to get other stuff here in the website. So that's all for me. Thank you for watching. I see you in the next one. Bye.